I remember when my dad when my dad came over one day and he smoked our ribs. He brought his Weber grill and he smoked our ribs for us, and it was delicious. And I couldn't eat it because I was pregnant and it smelled so nasty. And it tasted so good. I couldn't even be down there because, okay, so I love my dad's barbecue. Everybody who's ever met my dad and had my dad's barbecue loves my dad's barbecue. My dad is a wonderful cook, so everybody always looks forward to my dad's cooking. So the thing is, I was devastated, okay? Like, I was devastated because I was pregnant with my third son, Zion, and I couldn't stand the smell of the barbecue. We couldn't have barbecue like my whole pregnancy. He could make some, Taylor could make some for herself, but I couldn't do it. And so when he brought it up, I just like, I waited, I left it like the lid off for a minute, and then I took a bite, and it was so good. And then I tasted the barbecue, and I was like so upset. And Taylor got to eat most of them because I couldn't do it. I threw up. I threw up over everything though when I was pregnant. Anytime I'm pregnant, I just throw up nonstop. So, that was a sad memory for me. But we had fun. I had so much fun with my dad there. And Taylor got a little wisdom, so that was good too. Let's see. Childhood memories. Something I remember that let me think. Okay, here's a fun one. When we were kids, we lived in Arizona, so me and my siblings, we got used to running around barefoot in the hot sun. Like, it gets 110 and higher out there. And it's like, everybody says it's a dry heat, and you don't really understand what dry heat is until you go there. So, we would basically be walking on hot coals if we didn't wear our shoes. But we were kids, and we were so used to it, we didn't care. And so, we would basically play this game when we were little, and we would run in on the street or the sidewalk, and the game would be to who can get to the shade the fastest so your feet can cool down. That was the game. So we would just do that all the time, and eventually you start lasting longer and longer, and you can just run all the way to wherever you're going, which isn't that far. Our friend Laura used to live like right up the street, so we would do that. There was like little bouts of shade from a street lamp, or like a tree, or like a cactus. Like, we had lots of cactus out there where we lived, so we would like use shade from certain things and go, like, we would be hopping into somebody's yard when we were a kid, and so we can stand in their shade for a minute, and then we would run to Laura's house. So I'm gonna write that down. Okay, so another memory I have is when I used to babysit. It's kind of funny now, but it's not so funny when it happened. I used to babysit this little girl named Makeda. I babysat a few kids. I was 13 years old, or 12 or 13, and I remember the little girl, it was her bedtime, and she didn't want to go to sleep. So I told her I would read her a bedtime story if she went to bed. She got mad at me because I did read her a story. I ended up reading her 3 stories, and she still didn't want to go to sleep. So I told her when I was reading the 3rd one that was going to be my last one, and she had to go to bed. So I read her the story, and then I told her, Makeda, it's time to go to bed now. That was the last one. She said, I'm not going to bed. I said, you have to go to bed. It's bedtime. I said, your mom says it's time for you to go to bed right now, so you have to go to bed right now. So she jumped up on her bed, and I stood up, and she screamed at me, and then she bit my boob. I don't know why she did that. I mean, she could have, like, punched me in the face or slapped me or kicked me, but she lunged forward and she bit me when I was 13 years old, 12 or 13, and I was so mad. She must have known I was mad, because She's like, okay, I'm going to bed now, right after she bit me. Okay, so this is my final memory that I'm going to do today. I remember when I lived on Portland Street in Arizona, and we were trying to convince my sisters that Santa was real. So we made some cookies for Santa, then we decorated them and stuff, and then we put them out for for some milk and cookies. We left them out for Santa before they went to bed, and then we basically all took a bite out of the cookie because it was me, my uncle, and my mom. And my uncle put on these big boots, and he made it look like he tracked mud in the house from outside. It was so cool. And then he took a bite out of the cookie, and I ate one, and then he took a bite out of one. And then it was really cool. We made a really fun little scene for my sisters, which they ended up finding out about. So it was still really cool. They weren't convinced, but it was the effort that was fun. I remember when I used to craft out of a shoebox. Everything I had was in this size 9.5 shoebox. It's so crazy now because it's been 2 years and I have so much stuff, a lot of stuff compared to the little shoebox. I just had some glue, some scissors, and my imagination. And broken jewelry. Mostly, a lot of what I wanted to use involved broken jewelry, paper, and coffee dyed paper. So I ended up making some pretty neat things with not a lot of stuff, and you really can. You don't need a whole bunch of stuff to make something neat. So that's a good memory. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with a couple of questions. Just some prompts for you. What was one of your funnest childhood memories? What was your craft? How did you start crafting? Was it out of a shoebox? Were you able to go to the store and get a whole bunch of stuff? Was your craft supply a gift? Most of my craft supply, after I was working in a shoebox for a while, I will say most of my stuff that I ended up having came from Lori, just a girl from the Bay. She sent me two huge boxes of stuff, and I didn't get to record it, and I feel terrible about that still. She sent me so much stuff, you guys. I still use the stuff she sent me today. It's been 2 years and I'm still using the stuff that she sent me. It was so much stuff. I was overwhelmed and I just started crying. She did end up being the person that really made my craft supply just skyrocket, and there were so many options after that. I could just do so much because of such a sweet gift she sent me. But okay, so that's my question. How did you start crafting, and what's one fun memory you have with your parents? What was your first memory from your first job? One of your jobs. What is your first job memory? And do you have any good memories from when you were sick? Is there something that annoys you? Was there something that annoyed you before but you find it funny now? Those are some prompts for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I did a lot of talking. Hopefully it helps you a little bit, and I left you with some prompts of your own. So if you have any questions, let me know, and if you have any tips and or advice, I'm totally happy to hear it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.